Welcome back to your social science history class. We were dealing with the post-Rigvedic period in the last class we had studied. Now let us move on to the social system. There were four divisions in the part of the Rigvedic period, that was a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishyas and the Shudras. In the last part of the Rig Veda, as a part of Purusha Sukta, it was the Purusha Sukta incorporating certain changes became more strong. So let us let us know about the Purusha Sukta. Purusha Sukta is a hymn of the Rig Veda dedicated to the Purusha, the cosmic being. Author Stephen Rosen says the Bhagavata Purana and Mahabharata boldly proclaims Vishnu as the ultimate Purusha described in the Purusha Sukta prayer. According to the Indologist W. Norman Brown, he tells the verses of Purusha Sukta are definitely a reference to Vishnu, who is through his three steps is all pervading. It is also said that the Shukla Yajurveda Samhiti 30.30 1 to 16 and the Atharva Veda Samhita 19 in 19 chapter 6 shlokas slightly different versions of the suktas appear in different Vedas. One version of the Suktam has 16 verses, 15 in the Anustubha meter, and the final one in the Trishubha meter. Another version of the Shukla consists of 24 verses, with the first 18 mantra designated to the Purva Narayana and the later portion termed as the Uttara Narayana, probably in honor of Rishi Narayana. Some scholars state that the certain verses of Purusha Sukta are later interpolations to the Rig Veda. This is about the Purusha Sukta. So the Brahmins used to accept the gifts whenever they conducted the yagnas and the rituals. And also the Rajanya indicates the Kshatriya Varna, who had the political power, were called as the Kshatriya, irrespective of their origin. So Rajaniyas were the soldiers who were trained in archery and could wage war in the chariots. And they were supposed to offer gifts to others. They could have been subjected to exploitation to one's whims and fantasies. They neither had the right to perform the yagna nor to enter into the place of yagnas. The Shudras were a part of the Varna system but were kept at the lower end of it. But Dasayus and Dasas were kept outside the Varna. They were integrated to the Shudra Varna. Though the Shudras were accepted as a part of the Varna system, they were not given any rights. They could have been thrown out or killed. They were not allowed to perform the yagna. It was held that the sacred guru not only should disown a Shudra, he even should not see a Shudra. Shudras could come from tribes like Dasayu and Dasa and others. The early food collecting tribes like Nishadha and Chandala were grouped as untouchables. The women were placed in the lowest position in the social hierarchy, and they were considered as the embodiment of lies. There is a reference to dowry in the Atharva Veda. And there was no proper benefit for the woman's work, and no practice of child marriage can be seen during this period, and polygamy was there during this period, which was the rich and powerful, and there was a remarriage for the widow. Now let us move on to the economics system. By the time, by the time when the post Rigvedic period, the Aryans what did, they started moving from Sindh river area to the Ganga river area. They had to destroy the forest with the help of the fire. They burned the forest and cleared the land for agriculture. And in the process, these tribes reached the plains of Uttar Pradesh. Due to the scarcity of water in the Doab region of Satluj and Yamuna, they moved towards the river Ganga plains. Iron axes were used to chop or to cut the trees. There is also a reference to 6 and 8 oxen drive the plow in the Atharva Veda. 12 oxen driven plow is referred to in the Yajur Veda. So this shows that that these people used the oxen in agriculture and it increased from 8 to 12. The important crops they growed was paddy, barley, black gram, green gram, sesame, horse gram, foxtail millet, common finger millet, then masoor, wheat, kadu neelu. All these were grown there. Kadu neelu, it is 9 out of 12 crops discussed about were cultivated before 1500 BC as per the archaeological evidences, children. In another sukta, sugar cane is also mentioned as one of the crop. At the stage of Aryans, at this stage, the Aryans' life, agriculture was one of the most important thing other than the hunting and animal husbandry. They were not involved in whoever who was not involved in agriculture and business were called as Vayatras, which means outsider. So, oxen became an important animal during this period where it was used for agriculture and transport of goods. It was in this background. It was in this background the idea that one should not eat cows and oxen took its part and became the important issue. This prohibition was not accepted by all. The wealth of a person was calculated on the number that the cattle he had. Here also we can see, children, there is a references like the metal, like they knew the use of gold, copper, iron, lead, brass and tin in the Vedas. The earliest iron implements discovered, you can see here, in the 7th century, and the metal itself is called Shyama or Krishna Ayas, black metal in the later Vedic age. And silver is also mentioned in the Vedic text. As per the archaeological evidence, there is no indication of iron mining and preparation of this iron before 1000 BC, where near the river Ganga and the river Sindhu areas. It is believed that the technology of converting iron to steel was first found in West Asia, and afterwards it moved to, by 10 BCE, it moved to the eastern countries. So, the knowledge of this technology in northern India before 8 BCE is very bleak. The iron artifacts were found in Arthanachikera of West Uttar Pradesh. Have this observation. You can see the people. They used barley. As I told, the crops they grew. For the first time, the Vedic people became acquainted to the rice in the dough called Virihi in the Vedic text, and remains it covers from Hastinapura relate to the 8th century BC. Now we will move on to the political system. The southeast geographical age during the final stages of Rigveda now became the central locations of the Aryans. This place was inhabited by the Kuru tribe. Kosala and Vaideha tribes are present in the end of the Aryan settlement. That means they were living in the northeast of today's present Uttar Pradesh and the North Bihar. Tribes were the major controlling of the political system. During the Atharva Veda period, Angas were living in the East Bihar and Magadha tribe, they were living in the Bihar and south of the river Ganga. So these tribes were considered as the enemies of changes. The Pundaras who were at the far east and Andhras of the south were called as untouchables. These tribes were still not influenced by Aryan ways of life and the languages children. This means that the political system of tribes continued even during the time of Atharva Veda. There was an improved military power of Vedic tribe which helped to extend their geographical limits. Powerful kingships emerged. The king is described in Atharva Veda as the one who rules all, is like a god in human form. As the accumulation of wealth and power increased, the attempts were made in levels the king as equal to the god, or the king is the representative of the god. We can also see that there are references to the sacrifices, taxes and gifts that occurred during this period, children. There were many complex and wealth indicating rituals which grew around the king. A coronation ceremony to mark the ascendant to the throne by the king is called the Rajasuya came into existence as a symbol that the king's powers, Ashwamedha Yaga, gained importance. We can see here the political system, how it changed, the early Vedic age and the later Vedic period. The king's position was not hereditary during the early Vedic period, but later on, in the later Vedic period, the king's position became hereditary. Here the king received booty from the war and voluntary gift as bali, and officials appointed for a regular collection of revenue from the people. Sabha and Samiti had a greater importance during the early Vedic period. Here, Sabha and Samiti lost their importance. We can see that in the early Vedic period, the rudimentary administration developed. Here, effective administration developed. King positions was not ritualized. A number of sacrifices performed to strengthen the position of the king during the later Vedic age. Now, let us move on to the religious system. The religious beliefs and the rituals of the Rigvedic period continued, and there were also changes and there were also additions during the post-Rigvedic period. Rudra and Vishnu had gained the most important position during the post-Rigvedic period. They became important gods along with the gods during the time of Brahmanas, developed as an appendage to the Vedas. There is no direct reference to Vishnu's incarnation here. It is also said that by imbibing the local gods, Rudra also took over the legends and mythology of them unto himself. This is believed that all kings had happened, it is believed that all things that happened in this world were the results of the yagnas, and such notations were incorporated into Puranas, that is the mythological stories. In Upanishads, new concepts like karma and rebirth of the soul were created. So this aided the place of a person in the caste system, which is based on birth. So this became the most important philosophical base for the continuation of the caste system in its institutionalized form. We can see that the growth of ritualism and ceremonial religion, intellectual pursuit went side by side. Prajapati, Rudra and Vishnu came into the limelight, where Prajapati became supreme and Pushana, god of Shudra. See, Yagnas, we are having the Laguya, Mahaya, Rajasuya, Vajpaya, Ashwamegha and Agni Stoma. These were the different types of yagnas which was performed during this period. So we can also see, children, in a brief description we can see the early and Vedic age and the later Vedic age. So you had to write down all this in your social science classwork, making this into dividing the page into two halves. In one page you will write early Vedic age, and in the next page you will write the later Vedic age, and you will compare. The comparison is done between the early, that is the Rig Veda, and the later Vedic ages, children. Here also we are having some here how the society and economy was there. You have to just write down this and this also along with that. You can see the new gods like Brahma, Rudra, Rama and Krishna as the incarnation of Vishnu. Shiva came to be worshipped. Brahmins introduced many rituals and made their position secure. So all this has to be written in your book. This is just the gist of the Vedic period. And this is the mind map what I have done, children, because this is actually a concept map where I have done about the Harappas or Indus Valley civilization. You will do this in your copy down in your classwork book. You can make any designs you want. Okay, you can make, this should be in the middle, and you can put around the circle, and also you can do it. So this is this is one more thing where we are having, where you can write it and make it. So all these are the major cities: Harappa, Mohenjo-daro, Lothal, Kalibanga, Dholvira, Surkoda and Chenna-Udaro. All these are some of the major cities of Indus Valley civilization. All these mind maps, all these should be copied down in your social science classwork. And the decline of the Indus Valley civilization. So the early Vedic way where they worshipped, and all this. These are all where you can, this is a very big chapter. So I have divided, I have made some points. You have to copy all these points in your book. And this is the term, these are all the important terminologies what we use in history. So, and we should be knowing, I had to copy all this. So with this we finish up with the chapter, the ancient civilization of India. So in this chapter we studied about the ancient civilization of India. What was the first urbanization, how it started, and what are its special features. And we also studied about the town planning, how it was done during the Harappan civilization, and what was their lifetime, and what was the reason for the decline of this civilization. And we also saw the Vedas. What do we mean by Vedas? What were the developments of Vedas? How many types of Vedas are there? And we also studied about the Vedic period. So with this we finish up the chapter. Thank you, children.